we do probably have to warn the listeners that there's going to be some spontaneous singing in this episode for sure.
Are you planning on contributing to the spontaneous singing?
I'm definitely going to spontaneously sing.
I'm glad you're jolly. You're getting in the Christmas and the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
You should have worn a little Santa hat or something.
Jeremiah's in the middle of using it right now.
No. I thought he didn't take your Santa hat. I thought you said you had to get him a new one.
Yeah. I think he has all of them. He's doing something.
Funny.
He's doing something. He can't ask
That's
questions.
funny. They're just like all lined up on a... It's like, don't touch those.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the PUDs Podcast. All right, man. So what's going on?
What's going on, buddy? Happy
Nothing
holidays.
Much. And the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays to you.
Welcome into the listeners. This is going to be a very musical episode of the PUDs Podcast.
Yeah, a little, the first installment, I think, of our holiday episodes. Probably have one on Christmas movies as well, too. But yeah, so I think we're going to be getting into some holiday songs. Josh picked a bunch of different Christmas songs, holiday songs to talk about, his favorites. I picked the first 10 albums. It was supposed to be 10 albums, I should say. It's actually 11. 11 albums that...
the Podcaster's Dozen?
Yeah, I can't count, apparently. the Podcaster's Dozen. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I've got some albums that I like listen to around this time of year that we'll kind of talk about and dive into. And to switch things up, because we didn't have a ton to recap on from last episode, the last Spuds, we're going to do a little this or that action that Josh has ready for us. So
in lieu of a scramble, let's get into a little holiday this or that.
Sounds good.
My wife Melissa, she came up with this idea and said this would be something that we should try out, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm gonna give you a couple things and see if you would prefer this or that.
Yeah, and thanks, wife of the podcast,
wife of the pod,
for reaching out,
wife of the
reaching
pod.
out, wife of the pod,
pod mom.
Okay, I feel like she deserved more than friend of the podcast.
Yeah. But all right, so let's get going on this holiday, this or that. So, would you rather have hot cocoa or eggnog?
Hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm an eggnog guy. I'd rather have eggnog than hot cocoa. But that
I will say I haven't drank eggnog that much, to be honest with you.
I like it. It's got to be like icy cold though. I love a nice icy cold glass of eggnog.
Now I'm like invalidating my answer even more, but what does eggnog even taste like? Like, is it just sweet milk?
No, it's like it's hard. It's like thick. It's got like, you got the allspice or whatever in there. It's got a little spice to it. It's good, especially you throw a little spiced rum in there. It's delicious.
Do you make it yourself? Or you just, because you can buy it like pre-made, right?
Yeah, you just buy it in
just
the
carton.
Yeah.
So when you say the spice, do you add like spice to it?
No, it's already it already has like
okay.
that cinnamon or allspice like to it. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I'll bring some to the Christmas party.
All right, that sounds good.
All right.
Awesome.
So this or that, gifts on Christmas or gifts on Christmas Eve?
That's hard for me to answer because usually it ends up being both. I'll give the two explanations. So one, when I was a kid, I would usually get to pick out a Christmas gift on Christmas Eve. And that was already super exciting because by that point I was already like inspecting the gifts under the tree. I remember like you'd be looking for like video game cartridges or things like that or toys that maybe you asked for Santa and stuff. So that was always super. There was something really special about like cracking that first present open and tearing open the paper.
Yeah.
But Christmas presents we always open on Christmas Day. Then as we've gotten older, we did the Portuguese thing with Ash's family a lot more, and they like straight up open all their presents on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So all the presents that we had for like her baboon of and her aunt and her parents, and to a degree, like we'd pretty much open all our presents with her side of the family on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we kind of still continue to do that. When we go over to my mom's house, we'll open our presents that day on Christmas Day there.
Yeah.
But all our other presents with like Ash's family, we generally open on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. That's super intriguing. Like I know a few people that open like all their gifts on Christmas Eve. Maybe it's a Portuguese thing.
Yeah, I think because they used to go to like midnight mass and do all that. It was kind of like you'd open your gifts and then do that, and then you'd be like wake up later the next day and just chill around the house and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you?
I'm a Christmas Day man. I'm a purist. You can't. How can you open those gifts? Santa hasn't come down the chimney yet. You can't open the gifts on Christmas Eve if Santa hasn't slid on down that chimney to put the gifts under your tree.
You make a valid point. I'm curious what Ash's Baboonava would tell Tony and her aunt growing up.
Portuguese Santa Claus was early.
Portuguese Santa Claus always shows up before midnight on Christmas.
Oh man, yeah, that's funny.
Cool.
All right, so I think I know the answer on this one, but fake tree or real tree?
Real tree,
yeah.
150% real tree. My parents always get a real tree. We've always gotten a real tree. Now, I will say we have fake trees in our house. Like we have one downstairs and I have a little one upstairs in the office. But yeah, the main tree that we have like in our dining room area is a real tree.
This is more for the actual tree, but yeah, I'm a fake tree guy. I don't need to be cleaning up the needles. We already went over this, so I already kind of knew the answer on that.
Yeah. Did you have a fake tree growing up usually too?
Yeah, we had a fake tree. We had like that one of the really old ones where that like you had the individual stems that had like the color on the tip of like the metal, and then you had to like stick it into the matching color on the tree, and yeah, it was. Yeah. But
it makes me think back. Like brief aside, we were watching Charlie Brown Christmas over the weekend. I was watching it with Rylan. We're gonna have to rewatch it because Ash always wants to watch it with us too.
Yeah.
But how they had like those like metal aluminum Christmas trees like in the 70s apparently. Yeah. Apparently that was like a trend at one point.
Good thing.
Anyways, not to cut you off.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah, I'm like, how was that a thing ever?
Yeah.
Like it just seems unnecessary.
Fake trees look great though. The fake trees, they've made them look so much better now.
They do for sure.
And then, all right, so colorful lights on your tree or just the plain white lights?
Colorful lights.
Oh yeah, colorful lights all day, baby.
Yeah, you got to do that. I feel like it's coming back around where I think when we were like kids in the 2000s and stuff, or teenagers anyways, I feel like white lights were really a big thing, but I feel like just judging even from the houses like in our neighborhood and stuff and seeing people's trees through the windows, I feel like it's more colored than white lights now, I think.
It's fun. It's way more fun.
Yeah.
The white lights.
You got to be inclusive.
Yeah, the white lights are for the hoity-toities, like the people that keep their house like super duper overly clean and everything's white in their house.
I'm not cracking on anybody I know that likes to just do their house in white lights. Lisa, when you hear this, I love your house. It's beautiful.
Sorry,
I like the white lights.
I love your house too, Lisa. All right. So on top of the tree, Starr or an angel?
Starr.
Yeah, Starr. We actually had it. We topped it with an angel when like growing up, but yeah, I'm definitely more of a Starr man. Does your Starr light up?
Yeah, it's actually one just from Target, whatever the Target brand, but that thing is a champ. We've had it since we got our condo in like 2015 or whatever, and it works fine. Like it's outlasted like many strands of lights at this point.
Nice.
And it always works. Nice. And growing up, actually, my mom would do like a bow on the top of the tree. We actually wouldn't do a Starr. I think that was because my dad would pick Christmas trees that like barely fit in the house. So we kind of had to do a bow.
Yeah. No room for the Starr. We're just going to bow it up.
No, it was low clearance. There was like maybe a 1/4 inch between the top of that tree and the ceiling.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather host or be a guest at Christmas?
That's tough. I could go 50-50. I've never hosted Christmas though.
Yeah.
I think from a Thanksgiving experience standpoint, I think it'd be nice to be a host, but I also feel like when you're a host, it makes you conscious that you've got people coming over later in the day on Christmas. So having lived with my parents and my dad like always did Christmas dinner for my family, it was always kind of a semi-rush in the morning. Not like a rush, but like, you know, people are coming at like noon, 1 o'clock. So it's kind of like, okay, we need to like open presents and like shower and like get the house presentable again and kind of run through stuff. And it's just a lot sometimes.
Yeah. I'd rather host, and then I'm also the type of host that I'm not gonna rush, because I don't care if like you come to my house and I'm still in my pajamas. Like, you guys came here to chill out. Like, just come here, chill out, eat my prime rib, and then be on your way. Like, I'm not gonna rush through my day to. I already know you're coming. Like, just accept me for who I am. Accept my home.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that makes sense.
All right. Would you ski or snowboard?
I snowboard.
Yeah. I would.
That's not even I haven't tried. I've debated cross country skiing before. Ash, my wife / co-host of the podcast now, actually skis, and her entire family skis, but I've always snowboarded.
Yeah. I snowboarded one time and it was terrible. I think I would just rather ski. I like having both feet free to move independently, I think. I don't know.
Well, the thing with skis is like you can just face forward and like be standing up. With a snowboard, you can't really like do that. You're sort of just sideways standing up, and I feel like in general, to some degree, skiing must be more stable than being on a snowboard, just because you've got the 2 feet in the skis.
Getting up after you've fallen on a snowboard, at least for me, was like very hard.
Yeah, it's always kind of awkward. You kind of feel like you're like a dead fish or something. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you kind of got to flop over on. There's the people that get up, like face the ground and then get up that way, and then there's the people that push off the back and then kind of hop up.
Yeah, I had to.
But generally, when you learn, you end up just falling on your ass like a shit ton of times.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of
pretty
that.
much.
A lot of that. All right, would you rather sled or ice skate?
Sled.
Yeah, me too.
And I say that because the times I've gone ice skating and rented ice skates, the ice skates were like too small for my calves, and it just was like killing me usually by an hour in or whatever. And sledding's just way more fun for me than ice skating. Maybe if I grew up ice skating, it'd be more fun and I was better at ice skating, but I would much rather go sledding.
There's more of a thrill in sledding.
Yeah.
There's more.
I'm assuming you're a sledder.
Oh yeah, 100% sledder. 100% sled. For sure. Gingerbread cookies or sugar cookies?
I don't know. That's kind of a toss-up. Probably sugar cookies.
Yeah.
I like decorating gingerbread cookies better.
I like decorating the gingerbread too, and then just throwing it right in the trash, because gingerbread is terrible.
I feel like gingerbread's good when you first make it, when it's like got that still soft cookie kind of thing going on.
It gets
and
so
I like
hard.
Gingerbread. Oh god, yeah, it does. That's what she said. Yeah, it does. But much easier to decorate, I think, than sugar cookies.
For sure. All right, last one. Would you rather give gifts or receive gifts?
As I've gotten older, I'd rather give gifts.
Yeah.
I think it's more fun making things for people. I make calendars for friends and family that I've actually posted on the socials this year just to see if anybody would be interested in them. But I really thoroughly enjoy going through photos and like picking out stuff that I think people would find interesting, and I get a kick out of like giving calendars to people that they like hang up all year in their homes. Yeah. I kind of always joke, it's like once you buy one of those, it's like, well, it's going to be up all year kind of now.
I know what to get you next year, because you're going to need one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always fun. Or just like, I think as Rylan gets older too, when she gets more into like the toy part of Christmas, like it's probably going to be super fun to like see her face when she like gets that toy that maybe she wants, or surprise things that she wasn't thinking about.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. I'd much rather give gifts too. You're at the point, especially now that we're older, like anything that you want, you buy. Like, I don't actually need any gifts on Christmas. I'd much rather just give gifts. It's nice to see people, like, you make people happy, and I think giving is my love language. So that's how I express my love for people, is by giving gifts. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, example, like even this year, my mom, I don't think really listens to this podcast much, but if she does listen to this episode,
Don't spoil
I
her.
ended up getting-
Don't spoil her Christmas
Dude,
gift.
she's
Don't
not
do
gonna
it.
she's not gonna listen to it.
Okay.
She won't be listening to it. But I ended up getting her a new hex-clad frying pan because her frying pans are just older and like super beat up, and not they're awful or anything, but I'm kind of looking forward. That was like sort of a surprise gift that I came up with that I was
Nice.
pretty happy with. So
Nice.
looking forward to seeing her face when she's like, a new frying, like it's a very like adult like mom kind of gift.
Ooh,
but
frying pan.
we have them too, and I've really enjoyed them. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's time. Like she needs this. So we couldn't think of a lot of different stuff to buy her. So I'm looking
Nice.
forward to seeing her reaction to that.
I hope Claire loves it. I hope she loves it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so that's it. That was a Christmas
Cool, man.
this or that. Let's get into the main big music moment, Christmas music moment.
Yeah, in lieu of Nick's music moment, we're gonna skip tonight because it's super redundant with 40 songs and 11 Christmas albums. I think we got music covered.
Yeah, we'll
so
be good.
yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, man. So, do you want to start first with the songs I'm thinking, just because some of my albums have your songs on them, so maybe we can kind of tie that back in, or maybe I'll just kind of mention if it happens to be on one of the albums that I picked, then that way I can be looking at your song list and
we can
kind of mention it.
We can we can bounce back and forth. Like
Okay.
We'll
let it happen organically, as they say.
Well, I'm gonna get the elephant in the room out of the way first, because you gave me all kinds of hate today, and
I did.
You texted. I sent you over my list, and then you gave me all kinds of hate, and
There was just one song in particular.
I felt so judged by you. I felt so judged, but
This is me still throwback to the other episode. This is me still not forgiving you for hating the Blair Witch Project.
back
Just
to
kidding.
back to Halloween. We'll go
Remember that time?
Remember that time you held the grudge since Halloween? But no, so Nick gave me a hard time, and I'm going to tell you something. I enjoy this song, and I know it's poppy. So the song the song is Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande, and it is, I don't know why, it's so catchy, and I love it. It's a good song. It's poppy. Like, I'm a sucker for some good pop music. I don't know.
It's not the fact that it's a pop song or anything. I mean, all Christmas songs are pop songs. I don't know if it's her voice or just something. I just can't stand that song. It's just funny when you said that, because I'm like, I literally was out on a walk with Rylan yesterday. We were listening to Christmas Essentials, and if that song comes up, I'm like, boop, like hard skip.
She has a good voice.
Santa baby. It's like no, man, I can't do it.
Tell me if you're really
Santa tell me.
there.
Exactly.
She has a good
I
voice.
just can't.
Don't hate
I
on
just
Ariana.
can't do it, man. I just can't.
I'm gonna
do
hold
it,
the
man.
line for Ariana.
That's
And
fine.
I'm not like an Ariana Grande fan or anything, but there's something, I don't know why. There's something about that song. It just, every time it's on, I'm like, oh, I really like, it's upbeat. It gets my energy going. Like, I'm good. Like, I like that song a lot. But yeah, so that's more of a modern song. I kind of broke down my song choices by kind of era. And the biggest thing
I really like how you did it.
Yeah, the biggest thing I noticed was the 60s and 70s was like the heyday of like Christmas songs. Like it's pretty impressive. And I was talking to Melissa about it. It's like, imagine just being somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to make this Christmas song. And then it just generations and generations, like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, they're still listening to like your Christmas song that you made like all those years ago. It's crazy. But
yeah, I didn't think to write down the years of the albums I've got, but I know some of them are definitely from the 60s or 70s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool how those songs become iconic.
Yeah.
And or maybe it just means people are just really bad at writing Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And I think it's just difficult to write, especially good original Christmas songs, just really tough. I think a lot of people just don't touch it.
Yep. That's kind of the whole thing, right? It's a lot of every year people redoing the oldies, right? There's very rarely is there like a new, fresh, like take on a Christmas song. Like I think that's why I liked that Ariana Grande, because I can only do Jingle Bells. There's only so many versions of Jingle Bells you can listen to. You know what I mean?
Well, you got Jingle Bells, you got Jingle Bell Rock, you got all different
you got
things.
Rocking
Man.
Around the Christmas Tree, all that stuff. But yeah, I'll start kind of in the later era. So like 1940s to 1950s. Some of the songs that I really enjoy.
All right, yeah, I'm going to bring up your list too so I can follow along.
Yeah, perfect. So the first one is Mele Kalikimaka by Bing Crosby.
Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way
to say Merry Christmas to you.
To you.
Obviously made famous by National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But
watched that last night, coincidentally.
It's a great. And no spoilers for the Christmas episode, but that'll be on there because that's a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, it's one of those things. It's catchy. It's in that I love that movie, and then that song comes on, and when he's daydreaming about his pool, and it's just it's a cool song. It's a different take on Christmas songs.
And the chick from the lingerie store or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Super funny.
Yeah, and obviously Bing Crosby's like the king of Christmas. So,
dude, I had no idea how old these were.
Yeah.
I didn't realize those go back to the 50s.
Yeah, Bing Crosby.
That's crazy.
He's been around for a while. But yeah, when you think Christmas songs, majority of the songs that are these older songs, they're all Bing Crosby. So, the other one is Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. Once again, classic Christmas song. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
So kind of like we were saying, how some of these things tie in. But yeah, one of my albums I had on there was Christmas Classics by Bing Crosby, which I imagine is probably the album that all these were on, because I know that they're on that album. But that's the actual name of the album, I believe, is Christmas Classics, which I'm assuming came out around 1950 or around the 50s then.
Yeah.
With the dates on these singles, unless the single songs might have come out before the EP did.
Yeah.
But either way.
And then I got obviously Frosty the Snowman by Bing Crosby. That was a Jeremiah pick. Couldn't make a list without Jeremiah.
You gotta have Frosty.
Yeah, I gotta have
Frosty on there, man.
And then one of my all-time favorites, Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. She's so great, dude.
Yeah, so Josh texted me a couple weeks ago. I think your text was somewhere along the lines of, this song seems a little rapey, but I kind of like it.
Oh no,
it does have that.
No, that wasn't this song. That wasn't that's a different song.
Oh, okay. That's not this song.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that song. No, this is
okay.
Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I was thinking of the wrong song.
It's a classic. It's a classic. And then we got a couple Frank Sinatras on here. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Classic. And then I got Everybody's Waiting for the Man with the Bag by Starr. That's 1950 as well. So
how does that go?
That's Everybody's Waiting for the Man with the Bag.
I don't think I know.
You don't know
that
one? You gotta listen to it after.
Not from you singing that blip. We won't make. I won't make you sing the entire thing.
You don't know that one?
Yeah.
Oh, very upbeat.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and then into the 60s and 70s, you got You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. I love this song.
Yeah, so I've got, on one of my albums, it's technically called Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, ! Original TV soundtrack. So that's the album that actually goes along with the Grinch. And it kind of makes sense with how they did things back then. It's just a straight up, like, the entire album is just literally...
Story?
Yeah, it's literally the story,
yeah.
So it's cool. And it's by Boris Karloff, Thurl Ravenscroft, who you mentioned. Boris Karloff, I think, does the narration, I think.
Yeah.
Then Ravenscroft sings it. And then it's also it just has MGM Studio Orchestra and MGM Studio Chorus that do that album, so.
Yeah. Boris Karloff does the voice of the Grinch and the narration.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
We just watched that movie the other day, the original like Grinch movie.
Very nice. Yeah, we watched it a couple weeks ago. I always forget that it's like 13 minutes long.
The funny thing about that one is I always thought it was James Earl Jones that sang that song, but it's not. For some reason, I swear I thought I can't believe I didn't know James Earl Jones could sing, but it's really not him.
And I want to say too, either I think Boris Karloff or Thurl Ravenscroft, one of them did the voice of Tony the Tiger in the cereal commercials at that time. Oh, they're great.
They're great.
Like way back. I think that's what the other thing. I think it's Boris Karloff and what he was known for.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I got a couple Andy Williams on here, 1963. Most Wonderful Time of the Year, and It's a Holiday Season. I love It's a Holiday Season. It's the holiday season. 'Cause Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah. My favorite part is Hickory Dick and Dickory Dock, don't forget to hang up the sock. Oh, man. But yeah, that's a good
Beautiful lyrics.
Yeah, that's a great one. And another one, when I was going through and trying to find like songs that I haven't heard in a while, this was one that I hadn't heard in a long time, and I love this song. It instantly became like one of my favorites. Is The Little Drummer Boy and Peace on Earth with David Bowie and Bing Crosby. When they're singing, Bing Crosby's singing The Little Drummer Boy, and David Bowie's like singing Peace on Earth at the same time. They have like that duet going. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've heard that before.
Peace on Earth, can it be? Yeah, David Bowie. Yeah, he does a great job. It's really cool. And then I got a couple Jackson 5s on here. Obviously the classics. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Always good.
Yeah, always good. Always got.
That song makes me think of playing in band and playing Christmas songs.
That and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, obviously. Not my favorite rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. We'll be getting to that one, but that's a great rendition. Santa Claus coming to town. Everybody loves Little Michael.
Yeah.
Then I got the Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys. That's another one. When I listening to it over and over again now, it's like, yeah, that's
Christmas comes each time this year. I love that part.
Merry Christmas, baby. It's the Little Saint Nick. I love the Beach Boys. How you feel about the Beach Boys, Nick?
I like them. I haven't gone out of my way to listen to them that much, but I definitely have heard a lot of their music, like Pet Sounds and whatnot. I got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on here. I actually have it on here a couple times, but obviously a song that you've heard a million times. But the one I picked was the one by the Temptations. I love the way the Temptations sing this song. Has that nice Motown sound. It's got that funk to it. That's awesome. Solid.
And then also in 1968, you got Backdoor Santa by Clarence Carter. And
I'm sorry, it's just a funny name. Maybe I'm being immature.
It's a funny song. You got to listen to it because they call me Backdoor Santa.
So I know like Bon Jovi does a rendition of that on one of the albums that I have that we've mentioned in a past podcast. Yeah. So I've heard that version of it.
Yeah.
But I'll have to go back to listen to this one.
You got to listen. Once again, another funky bass line. Like it's got that great sound to it. It's got that great old school sound to it. It's got that good funk. Next, 1971, I got Happy Xmas by John Lennon and Yoko.
And so this is Christmas.
I love that song. I
always think it's funny. My dad used to joke, if you want to know the difference between John Lennon and Paul McCartney, John Lennon wrote Happy Xmas, and then Paul McCartney wrote Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. Like,
Yeah.
those songs could not be more different from each other.
Yeah, I have that one on here too. I love that song. I like
Is
the
it?
Beatles. I'm into the Beatles.
That came out a little bit later. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then to wrap up the 70s, I think the one I didn't mention yet was by the Kinks, Father Christmas. I love that. It's like not really a Christmas song,
It's a Christmas song.
but it's
I mean, it's not a traditional
it's
Christmas
not
song.
it's definitely not a
that's fine.
traditional Christmas song, but yeah. I really like that song too. And then so now we're past all like the traditional.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you missed a few on here on your list that you had on here. Because one of them I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead.
You got at the
Talk
bottom
about
anyways.
Talk
Yeah,
about it,
you had Please Come Home. You had Please Come Home for Christmas by Charles Brown.
Oh yeah, I missed.
Yeah, you had that on here. That's a good song.
I really. Like
Then you
that
got This
song.
Christmas by Donny Hathaway.
Oh yeah. This Christmas.
It was funny. I was listening to that yesterday too in that Essentials playlist. I was talking about. I'm like, who the hell sings this? Like, I don't think he did much else other than that song.
That's Donny Hathaway. How dare you? How dare you? That's Donny. No, that's another one. It's just fun. It's upbeat.
Yeah, that's a good
This
song.
Christmas.
And then you got Nat King Cole, the Christmas song,
yes.
and I have that. The actual album name of that is called The Christmas Song.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely one of my favorite Christmas albums.
That's what a great song. That's like a very classic.
Takes me back to my childhood.
Yeah.
And I have that on vinyl. I have my dad's vinyl of that sitting actually not too far from me right now. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
So I was going to ask you, the ones that you have on album, like you picked 11 albums. Do you own all these albums?
I'm looking quick. I own like 8 out of 11 of them.
That's
on
pretty
vinyl.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Some of them are just old ones that I
Yeah.
have from my dad. Like, I don't know. I'm sure they repress them, but these are they're all original copies. The Nat King Cole, the Christmas song album I have is definitely an original,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
So now we're moving past the kind of traditional, like older, like the Christmas classics. We're moving forward to the 80s and 90s now. And now it's going to get kind of more poppy for sure, and then a little more away from the classic Christmas stuff. And the first,
Buckle your seatbelts, people.
yeah, buckle up. But the first couple I have, so I got 2 versions of Carol of the Bells. The first one is the first one I had listed is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but the one that everybody knows is the one from the Carol of the Bells from Home Alone.
I mean, that's just a classic song too. Like, I don't even know. It's probably like almost like an Americana sort of deal. Like, I don't know who wrote Carol of the Bells originally.
Yeah.
It probably goes back pretty. I don't even know if it's an American song originally. It might be like English or something like that. But everybody knows that like riff that goes in the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's a great song. Trans-Siberian Orchestra does like a fantastic job making it more.
That's another level.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing.
Like electric guitars and whatnot.
Yeah. Everybody knows that one too. It's been in like every Christmas car commercial for the past 20 years.
Pretty much.
Oh man, yeah. So that one was in 1995, and I think the Home Alone one was in 1990. And so this next song, this might be my favorite Christmas song of all time. I love this Christmas song. I don't even know if you can call it a Christmas song. It has Christmas in the title, but I don't think it really has anything to do with Christmas, but it's just so good.
It's more like heartbreak on Christmas, but I'm kind of with you where I think part of me thinks this song is annoying, but it will be eventually to me again this year. But it's like when it's something about the cheesy like synths in that song.
Yeah.
And just the like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm a sucker for like female alto voices. There's something it just get from like the 80s. It's just it's like how I love like I have like a crush on like Amy Mann, like Till Tuesday or Amy Mann. It's something that just gets me.
Yeah.
I just love how it sounds, and it's just like it's a very like sassy like Christmas song.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So if you haven't guessed yet, this is Last Christmas by Wham. Wham.
Wham.
Yeah.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart. The very next day you gave it away. Oh yeah, it's just so.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great song. It's like you said. It's the synths. It's like. Have you seen the music video? The music video is ridiculous.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, like the music video is ridiculous too. Like it's just such a good song. Once bitten and twice shy. Yeah, it's.
I love not that people can see because this is an audio medium, but you were dancing just like jamming when I started singing that. It was fantastic.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Christmas song of all time. I love it. I love Wham. It's so good.
I'm gonna do a cover, and I'm gonna say "Last Christmas I Gave Josh My Heart."
So the next one is it's "Do They Know It's Christmas Time" by Band-Aid, 1984. Do you know this song?
I know of Band-Aid. I don't think I don't know this song off the top of my head. I'm sure I've heard it before, given how big Band-Aid is.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one. That's a great song. Band-Aid obviously is. It was when all the different singers of that time, like a lot of big names. I was watching the video the other day. It's like, I know Boy George is in it. I always forget what's his name from Wham. I always forget his name.
From Wham?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
George Michael. Yeah, George Michael. A bunch of guys like that singing in Band-Aid. It's a great song. Then after that, I got Christmas Vacation, 1989. That's obviously the title song from Christmas Vacation.
I was gonna ask that, but I figured it was.
Yeah. That's sung by Mavis Staples. Hip hip hooray!
Christmas time is here.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
There's something about how he sounds very like breathy, and it's weird. He's like, "Christmas time is here."
I think it's a lady. I think it's a woman, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she does a great job. That's
hip hooray for Christmas Vacation.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding. Yeah, that's a good one. And then obviously you can't have this list. I don't know how you feel about this song, but you can't have this list if you don't have Mariah Carey on it. All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's become its own thing.
A good song.
It's become its own
thing.
Song. It's like a planet. It gravitates all the other Christmas songs to it. It's become the center of the Christmas universe. It's wild.
And it's Mariah Carey like at her peak, pretty much. Peak.
Yeah,
before she was at New Year's Eve, not being able to sing anymore and blaming other people for it.
Yeah, it's too cold.
This is way before that.
Cold. It's too cold. But yeah, this was 1994. I didn't realize how like far back this song actually was. I thought it was definitely closer to the 2000s, but it just means I'm getting old. And then I got to stay on the pop, I got Merry Christmas by NSYNC. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, Nick. You got. How
many times did they say Merry? It's a good trivia fact. How many times did they say Merry Christmas in that song?
You gotta listen
probably
to it.
A lot.
You'd have to listen to it and count them up. But
it's probably like 157.
That's another one. That's 1993.
Yeah, it is a catchy song.
Yeah. And then I got Joy to the World by Whitney Houston, 1996. That's from the movie
Powerhouse.
Yeah, Whitney's so she's like, the range of her voice is insane, first of all.
Yeah.
I don't have to say much more than that. But this is from the movie The Preacher's Wife. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I
don't think so.
Yeah.
I remember Bodyguard. That's about it.
So yeah, and basically this song, it's her going through all the ranges of her voice, and then it has that like gospel like feel to it. There's like the choir that sings with her, and it has that like upbeat gospel touch to it. It's really good. Really, really good song. And then we're going to 1992. I got Sleigh Ride by TLC.
Ooh, they do a version of that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
TLC Sleigh Ride. That's a really good song. A lot of that's another one, upbeat, really fun song. And this is my favorite Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This is Bruce Springsteen's version from
such a burly voice
from 1985.
I mean, not yeah. Again, that's him like during. I mean, not that he doesn't tour and isn't great still, but that's him in his heyday. You could just his voice is just so raspy and powerful. It's just fantastic.
And I don't know if I'm a Bruce Springsteen fan per se, but just going through and listening to all these again, I'm like, I really like this song.
Yeah,
you better watch out. You better not cry. Yeah, he does a great job. And then for some fun, 1995.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's not known for his music, but this is Adam Sandler, the Hanukkah song.
Well, he was at that point.
Yeah, I guess so.
The comedy albums and songs were kind of a big thing at that point, but he's far surpassed that.
Yeah. Hanukkah song is hilarious, first of all. It's fun. It's fun.
It's great.
And then I got, lastly, to round out the 90s, 80s and 90s, I got Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. That's
also on one of my album picks as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mama's in the kitchen making collard greens. Yeah, that's a great one. All right, so on to the modern. I considered everything after the 90s the modern era once again because I'm probably getting too old. But not too many here.
It's our modern era.
We already talked about Ariana Grande. I won't make you go through that again. But so I got in 2013 Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree. I don't know if you know that song. It might be too poppy for you, Nick. Might be too poppy.
I like pop songs. I just don't like shitty ones. That's my last smack on the Santa Tell Me song, I promise. No, I like this song. Yeah. I've listened to it. It's on a lot of different essential playlists and stuff. It's definitely a catchy song.
Yeah.
And this is that after she won American Idol?
Yeah.
Or shortly thereafter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so this next group, so Pentatonics, like I can't say enough. I love Pentatonics. I like the acapella. I'm a big acapella guy. I like all that stuff. I know most, if not all, of their music is basically acapella. I think they do a fantastic job, but this is one of my favorites by them. It's Mary Did You Know by Pentatonics, and that's 2014. Mary, did you know that your baby
I just have
boy...
So Ash and some of my friends have ruined Pentatonics for me just because they listen to them all the time at Christmas, and it's just, I think I just lost appreciation and love for it just out of sheer amount of volume of listening. I was like, I need to listen to something different.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, they have, like I said,
they're very talented.
I'm a fan. I enjoy what they do. And then, so this next song, this is what I was when I texted you the other day. I was saying, I know this song's a little rapey, but I really like this song a lot. And I went and listened to a bunch of different versions. So this was my favorite version. So this is "Baby It's Cold Outside" by Brett Eldridge and Meghan Trainor, and that was in 2016. So
cool. Hey, that song goes way back too, I think.
There was I listened to
the 40s or 50s.
I listened to every version I could. There was the Bing Crosby version, Frank Sinatra, Zoe Deschanel. There was the Bublé and whoever the girl was that he sang with. But this one, I listened to them all, and then this one was just, I don't know why, this one felt like the cleanest to me, and I enjoyed it the most. It had kind of that old school feel to it, and still, but had that new spin on it, so I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it is a little rapey. It's a little rapey.
Yeah, it's a little.
Baby, it's cold outside. I got to go away, baby, it's cold outside.
And just have another drink and stay with me.
Say what's in this drink, maybe it's bad out there.
Yeah.
Maybe just a cigarette more.
It's not even snowing out. It's still light out. It's 3 p.m.
It's global warming. They can't do that. They're gonna have to end that song soon because global warming's taking over. It's not gonna be cold out anymore.
It's moderately chilly outside.
Oh man! And then my last one, and this is just a fun one.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, this is kind of just a fun one that I think it's not. I don't think it's really a thing. I think they took DMX kind of just singing this song and then just added the actual music to it. But it's DMX Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and anybody that knows it's a banger. It's a hit.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. No selections.
Yeah, so that's my list. That was a lot. It was a lot of fun to go back and listen to all these songs too. I really, really enjoyed it. But once you go back and listen, you really know which ones are your favorites, which one you really enjoy to listen to, and I love all of them because they get me in the holiday spirit. So
that's cool, man. I like how you put the years and did by era. Very nicely broken down, Joshua. Very nice. So, yeah, man. So we talked about a few of these, but I'll just go through them. And some of these are going to be tie-ins probably to our Christmas episode. So the first one, and this is probably the first thing I'll start listening to, and it's a Charlie Brown Christmas by Vince Guaraldi Trio. So that's basically the music to a Charlie Brown Christmas special, the cartoon special. It's got most of the music on that, but again, remember that's just a really short sort of blip compared to this is a full 40-minute album. It's got pretty long lengthy songs on it, and it's just super good. The version of Oh Christmas Tree, the super jazzy kind of version of that. It's just there's something about that song and that riff and the way that it swings jazzy that it just gets stuck in my head insanely well this time of year. I'll just end up whistling it to myself unconsciously probably for the next month. So that's probably one of my top favorites.
Is this
the next one?
Is it the Grinch one? Does it do the whole story and then there's the music part of it? So it's all...
No, it's a straight up album.
Is there
it just is I think they advertised it. He wrote the music around the film, but it's full blown songs. It's a 30-40 minute album with 10 or 11 songs on it.
Is there any
and there's pieces of each pieces of all the songs in the movie are in there, but they're all full songs, and including on that is the Peanut song that they use, which I think is just called Linus and Lucy. Actually, is the name of that song.
Is there any actual songs singing, or is it all instrumental?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a full chord the whole when they do the. Is it Joy to the World at the end of that? No, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Yeah. They do at the end of that. That's in there with a choir of people and stuff.
Okay.
So all that's in there. So there is a little bit of singing on it. It's mostly just I think the trio was I forget honestly. I think you played piano. I should know that.
That's what I was gonna say. I think when I think Charlie Brown, I think literally only piano. I think Schroeder on the piano.
Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff Schroeder plays in there and stuff too is all basically in that. So yeah, and then the the Peanuts theme song is called Linus and Lucy. That's on it. And it's funny how that's, if you look up a lot of Christmas song lists, I was looking up a little stuff and doing research for this episode too, and that's actually a lot of people consider that to be a Christmas song just because of that movie, which is kind of cool. Because you think that's just a riff, it's not there's no lyrics to it or anything.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just associate it with the Charlie Brown Christmas movie growing up, so they think of it as a Christmas song, which is kind of cool.
Which is cool.
Just context. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great one. I love listening to that. I have that actually on green vinyl, which is really cool. It was pressed on green vinyl, so I've got that one.
That is cool. It's funny that because that Charlie Brown gets associated with Christmas, because then that just made me think every time somebody gets a sad Christmas tree, everybody calls it the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's such a thing. Yeah, and we'll dig more into probably our movie episode, but that was the very first like animated movie short of Charlie Brown from the comic. Like that was the first one.
That's a good.
That was like PBS or whomever at the time was kind of taking a leap on it, like hoping it'll do well. So it was kind of interesting that they got Vince Guaraldi to do it, because I imagine it must have cost a decent amount of money to put that song. But you think of like that, those songs kind of make the movie, and I feel like the movies kind of make the song. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
So this one we mentioned already with your song, because there's a song called The Christmas Song on it, but The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole, another really great album. A lot of these two are just associated with me growing up and what my dad used to play and what my parents used to play. So like anybody, I think that kind of drives a lot of your Christmas song tastes and stuff. And you kind of listen to stuff to take you back to that place when you were kind of a kid on Christmas morning and whatnot. So
yeah, because
I'm always listening to that.
It's funny because it's like the nostalgia factor, right? Like you go back to the time where you like were most happy at Christmas and stuff like that, and it's basically whatever your parents were listening to, and they were probably listening to Nat King Cole and Bing Crosby and stuff like that, because that's probably the stuff that was coming out like right around the time that our parents were born, right? So
exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I think all of our parents were probably born around probably the late 50s, early 60s. So this was like on the radio. Yeah, so that one for sure, The Christmas Song, and that's got like all the Christmas classics on it. There's a couple, it's funny, like if you listen to later in the album, there's a couple really crappy songs on it. There's one that's called like The Happiest Christmas Tree or whatever, that's just like really awful. But most of the album's really good. It's good stuff.
Nat ran out of steam at the end.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we need like another 3 minutes, and he was like, I'm the jolliest Christmas tree. It's pretty bad. The rest of the album's really good. The next one I had, which I don't think came up, everybody knows a Christmas song by this guy, but it's The Christmas Music of Johnny Mathis, a personal collection. He has a couple different Christmas albums, but a lot of people probably know him for The Most Wonderful Time of the Year that plays, I think, in Home Alone 2. That's Johnny Mathis. It's like pretty much everybody knows that.
Time.
He's got that really like burly sort of voice from I think the 60s probably.
Yep.
And that's just got a bunch of different Christmas classics on it. Like nothing really original on that. Maybe a couple original songs. But just solid.
I missed that one on my list actually. I had that. That's 1979.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The most wonderful time.
I must have missed it too when you were going through. But yeah, I think everybody generally knows Johnny Mathis's voice and stuff. So this is actually a mostly fully original Christmas album. And this comes from, I think my dad and my uncle really liked them a bunch, but the band Heart, that's known for like Barracuda and whatnot and a bunch of other hits. They have one called Heart Presents a Lovemonger's Christmas, and this is like mostly original Christmas music, and it's good. It's a good album. I would encourage anybody to check it out. I think there might be a couple traditional songs in there, but for the most part, it's all original. Just like takes me back, and it's not that old. I think it came out in the early 2000s. I should say not that old, relatively speaking, like 2005 or 2006, something like that.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. And then mentioned with one of your songs, two Christmas classics by Bing Crosby. What more can you really say about Bing Crosby?
You can't beat Bing. You can't beat him.
Yeah, it's not Christmas unless you listen to some Bing.
It's that deep, like surly, like it's just clean. He's like clean, and I don't. It's when you think Christmas music, you think Christmas songs. You close your eyes and you just try to hear a Christmas song. It's literally Bing Crosby whispering in your ear, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. This is a pretty new one compared to the rest of this list. I think this came out in 2021, but Christmas Songs Volume 1 by Manchester Orchestra. So I'm a giant fan of Manchester Orchestra, and the fact that they did a Christmas album covering traditional classics, I think might have been kind of surprising, because they're kind of a band that they're kind of generally what the rock sort of alt-rock genre, like it was cool to just see them be like, we're just going to do sort of an acoustic, like traditional Christmas album. Just good stuff. I don't have much more to say about it. Check it out. I think it's only 8 or 9 songs, but really like just peaceful. Each song kind of flows into the next, so it has that album vibe to it, which I really like.
This song,
just really pretty stuff.
This album was the one I was most excited to go back and listen to afterwards. Once I saw your list, this is the one I'm most excited to go and listen to.
Yeah, it's good. And it's not again, I think it's a good example too. Like Christmas music doesn't have to be like super overproduced. It doesn't have to have like a lot of bells and whistles to it. Like it's most of this is just like steady, clean electric acoustic guitar and like very simple drums. Like not much going on for the majority of this album, and it's just his voice with like a little bit of reverb on it. It's just really pretty. It gives you that perfect vibe of like if you're just looking at Christmas lights and just chilling out. Like it's just the perfect vibe. Yeah. It's not like overly intense or anything. I think it was very well done, especially in an era of like I feel like a lot of music sounds super overproduced nowadays.
That's for one year.
So it's just cool to. I was gonna say it's just cool because it just sounds very stripped, especially if you know a lot of their music. And I've seen them live a few times, and it's just cool to just be like, we're just going to chill out and sing like Silent Night. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah. It's great.
It's for when you're sipping your spiced rum eggnog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably pairs well with that, I'm sure. So this is an album that I fully admit I only know because of my dad. But there's a recording studio actually in Vermont called Windham Hill Recording Studios. And they produced and recorded a bunch of different sort of, I don't know if you call it like contemporary music, a lot of instrumental stuff. This entire album is instrumental for the most part, but it's called the Essential Winter's Solstice by Windham Hill. The deal with it being the Essential Winter's Solstice is the fact that they'd release like a series of maybe like 4 or 5 albums called Winter's Solstice. And they're all just like some original Christmas songs, and then some traditional takes of Christmas songs. But for the most part, it's kind of simple instrumentation, just guitar, violin, like woodwind, stuff like that. Probably the highlighting factor for me of this is it's recorded and produced super well. It's incredibly clean recorded. Just really good stuff. Like if you're like an audiophile or things like that, I think a lot of people are familiar with them just because this recording studio produces phenomenal recordings, frankly, of a lot of stuff. And a lot of really good original arrangements as well. I think one of the main guitar guys that, I don't know if he works for Windham Hill or if he just is associated with them, but William Ackerman, he's kind of a backbone on a lot of the songs on those things. He plays guitar, and I think he plays a couple other different instruments as well, but just really good stuff. Like again, it kind of just takes me back to being a kid and listening to that stuff. So check that out. I think a lot of people have never heard of Windham Hill. They do like a couple like Celtic Christmas albums and a whole bunch of different stuff that I love playing this time of year. So I just kind of summed it up with that Essential Winter Solstice album.
Sweet. Is that an older album?
Yeah. So the Essential one I think is from the 2000s, but I think the original productions probably go back to the 80s, I would guess, or 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just kind of cool because they're like a New England recording studio and production company.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally it's literally in, I don't know if it's a town or wherever, but it's a location called Windham Hill. It's in Vermont.
Nice.
So that's pretty neat. And all their album covers have like just super pretty pictures of like Vermont or New England, I'm assuming, which is kind of cool. This one would make my mom, Clara, really happy. And it's kind of grown on me over the years just because I've listened to so much, but James Taylor at Christmas by James Taylor. So everybody, I think most people hopefully know James Taylor. Maybe not as much as the generations get a little bit older. Yeah, the James Taylor gang. But James Taylor, dude, kind of weird looking dude, has an amazing voice. If you ever seen James Taylor and what he looks like and what he sounds like, I feel like it's almost very jarring in a way. No offense, James Taylor.
I feel like that about Tom Petty.
Yeah, I could see that coming on for sure. So yeah, I think that's some original stuff and mostly traditional Christmas songs. And then we touched upon, there were 2 or 3 songs on here that you had.
Yep.
Or at least one, the Run DMC song, Christmas in Hollis, is on here. And then Santa Claus is Coming to Town isn't on it by Bruce Springsteen. But Merry Christmas Baby is, which is a super popular song. And I mentioned this on a previous episode. But the name of the album is called A Very Special Christmas.
Yep.
It's by just a whole bunch of different artists, just a collection of people from like the 80s. From U2 to Bruce Springsteen to Sting to Run DMC. All different takes of Christmas songs on this nice little sort of compilation album.
You said, what'd you say last time too? Was it Whitney Houston on this one too?
Yeah. Do you hear what I hear by Whitney Houston's on there? There's like a bunch of, I can look up a quick rundown just for people in case they're curious.
Yeah, that's a big That's a big collection of different artists on there. That's pretty awesome. And there's a lot.
And there is a couple different versions I mentioned on the previous episode, but they're not as good. The first one like blows them away. But let's see who you got on here. The Pointer Sisters, Eurythmics, Whitney Houston, Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, The Pretenders, John Cougar Mellencamp, Sting, Run DMC, U2, Madonna. Madonna does a version of Santa Baby on that.
Yeah.
Bob Seger does The Little Drummer Boy. Bryan Adams does Run Rudolph Run. Bon Jovi does a rendition of Backdoor Santa. Alison Moyet, I don't know. The Coventry Carol, and then Stevie Nicks does Silent Night. So it's a pretty solid selection of music and renditions of traditional Christmas songs on that one.
I gotta check out the Stevie Nicks rendition of Silent Night.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So good. So next I had the Dr. Seuss soundtrack, pretty much the Grinch Stole Christmas soundtrack, I should say. And we kind of mentioned that already. And it's literally just a run through of like the TV show, the TV movie, whatever you want to call it.
It's funny.
That's just good.
This reminded me of this was like such a thing when we were kids. Like, because I remember having like a Sesame Street album, and it was like they would go through like their Sesame Street Christmas story, and then they'd have like little songs on it too. Like, this was just such a thing back in that time, like the late 70s, 80s, 90s, like having albums that also had stories on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then last but not least, and I should mention these are probably in really no particular order of favoritism other than kind of the Charlie Brown Christmas is probably like one of my favorite ones that I just listen to a lot. But the Jethro Tull Christmas album by Jethro Tull. So this is another one with a bunch of original music on it that's all really good. And it didn't come out really that long ago. It's just kind of got, if you're familiar with Jethro Tull, it's kind of got the same vibe that they've got. And it's just solid. Nothing really super special to say about that one, but I just enjoy listening to it.
I feel like I've heard of Jethro Tull so much, but I don't think I can name one song that they sing.
I'm probably struggling to actually find one myself. I know they're a British band,
Jethro
and
Tull.
that one that they're kind of known for. I don't know if it's like the main guy plays a flute or whatever. There's probably people that are like older than us, maybe listening to this, that are gonna be like, "Oh my god, you don't know who they are?
You don't know Jethro? You don't know Tull?"
Yeah. Who do they got? I know there's definitely many singles that they produced.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't have That's What I Call Christmas Volume 4 on here. That's a good one.
Volume 4 specifically?
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I just made that. Yeah. I just made that up. I don't know.
I know there is. It's funny. I know there is a Now That's Christmas.
Oh yeah, of course.
Volume. I don't know if there's more than that though.
Do you think they sell those albums anymore? Now That's What I
don't
call.
know. I feel like I always just think of them on cable TV, and I don't have cable TV anymore.
Yeah, those commercials would always.
Now That's What I Call Christmas.
Yeah. We collected all the greatest Christmas hits, so you don't have to. Those commercials would always come on at like 2 a.m. at a sleepover. You'd like wake up like from after crashing from your sugar high to Now That's What I Call Indie Rock Volume 10.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had for those albums. So check them out if you're more into just looking for something new to listen to.
All right.
That's definitely not all the Christmas albums I listen to, but that's probably the ones that came the top of the list.
We covered, between all the songs that I listed and all the albums that you were listed, we've covered a lot. But if you could pick, if somebody was only going to go listen to one of these, what would you recommend from your list?
That's a good question. Probably the A Very Special Christmas album, the compilation album of all those different artists. Yeah. I think just the variety that's on there, considering you have like Sting, U2, and Run DMC like on the same album with Bruce Springsteen and stuff, is just really cool. Like I imagine it must have been a pretty complicated like contract to get them all to sign onto that together.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it for charity or something at the time, but
maybe
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
and
that one's definitely.
And my runner-up, if you're looking for just straight up original, the Heart album, Heart Presents a Love Monger's Christmas, is really good. And I think it's a very warm, kind of just nice Christmas holiday themed album. Yeah. It just has those vibes to it.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yes, and like I said, my favorite of my list is obviously Wham! Last Christmas. I mean, everybody's heard that one. But my sneaky like dark horse is the Kinks' Father Christmas, and it's not really a Christmas song, but I like it.
That's cool.
It's very punk rock. Like I like that song.
I respect that.
So if you haven't heard that one, I don't think it's not as popular as some of these other hits, but yeah, give that one a listen if you haven't yet. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's good. But
cool, man.
Yeah, man. Anything else about these Christmas songs?
No, dude. You want to sled down into the descent?
Let's slide on in.
All right, buddy. You got anything to plug?
No, just keep an eye out. We're gonna have we're definitely gonna sit down and do our Christmas movies. Talk about some of our favorite Christmas movies on our next episode.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. And we put a lot of preparation into this, but I'm gonna put even more preparation into those Christmas movies.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're already starting to watch through the movies, too, so preparing accordingly.
I've watched so much. I'm doing so much research. I'm so good at researching these movies.
Just feel like, I was just like, Josh, I need to do this. You're like, I'm researching, honey.
Yeah.
Researching for the pod.
Jeremiah's trying to play with you. I know. Muppet Christmas Carol's on. Tell him I'll be out there in a minute.
These pods don't do themselves.
But yeah, so we're looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to getting together with you this Saturday, sir.
Yeah, man. It should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it, for sure.
Sidla family Christmas party.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, besides that, I think just, like I said, looking forward to this next episode and spending some time with you and enjoying the rest of this holiday season.
Yeah, dude, that sounds good. I don't really have too much on my end, so that might be it. That might do it up.
All right, guys. Yeah, listen, take a I know we listed a lot, and we'll share the lists on social media. We'll share the album list and the list of the songs that I had. And so you can kind of take a listen to some of these things, and maybe we'll put up a poll. Maybe we'll put up a poll and see what some of these people's favorite Christmas songs are. See what
I like that idea.
The people
probably
think.
Figure out. You can do that on like the Instagram story or something like that. On the gram.
Yeah,
on the gram guy.
Yeah,
cool.
So that'd be cool. Yeah, we'll put up a poll. We'll put up these lists, and don't forget to find us on social media at PUDs Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast from.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow.
Yep. Don't forget to do all those things.
All the things that people do nowadays.
All right, man.
Because we know y'all love us that much.
I know. We know you love us. Man. We know you love us. We love you too.
Yeah.
All right,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's going to be a fun holiday. Okay. We're actually ending now. It's like I feel like we're trying to hang up on a phone call with like an ex-girlfriend or something.
You say it. You say it. You hang up first. All right, man.
Yeah.
Bippity boppity.
You say bippity boppity.
Bippity boppity. Give me the zoppity.
Bye.
PUDs Podcast was produced and recorded in Black Cat Studios by the Pud Boys. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving us a review and subscribing. Find us on social media, and we'll see you next time.